And notice one of them is Midian. But that's funny, later we're going to hear that Ishmael's descendants are Midian too. Sorry, maybe just the same name. In any case, these are considered here in this genealogy the sons of a wife called Keturah. I think if you count them up and you throw in, I think if you throw in Isaac and Ishmael, you'll end up with 12 again. But I'm not going to promise that. I don't have time to do it. But Abraham gave all his possessions to Isaac, and to the sons of his concubines he gave presents. And then he sent Isaac eastward away. And Abraham lived for 175 years, and he died. He was an old man, he had a full span of years. And Isaac and Ishmael now, see, Ishmael's okay, he's back in the fold. He buried him in the cave at Machpelah. Now, just so everybody knows, that's for sure. Opposite Mamre. So he's there, Sarah's there. In the field of Ephron the Hittite. Now we hear that he was a Hittite. That Abraham bought from the sons of Heth. And Sarah was buried there, and Isaac lived at Lahawan, not Ishmael. I've been to that cave. I mean, I've been to that Machpelah. And there's it's really, you have several rooms there. And in each room there are two huge cairns. I guess I call them cairns. They look like this. I don't know what they call them, but they're like this. They're huge things like this, side by side. The structure is a Herodian structure built in the period of Herod. It's Herodian architecture. So it was known in the time of Herod and the Herodian period in Palestine, time of the birth of Christ and so on. And so there's two cairns right next to each other, and each room has two. So there's 3 rooms with 6 cairns. And I think they were. Honestly, I think that these stories are probably referring to these shrines. That they knew them back in David's time, for instance. I don't know who was buried there originally. Maybe it was Abraham. Anyway, the legend there, it's on these tombs with the signs that are there in Arabic and Hebrew. One is Abraham and Sarah. The other is Isaac and Rebekah, and the third is Jacob and Leah. Joseph isn't there and Rachel isn't there. Why? Because you'll see here that when Rachel dies, they have Rachel buried in a different place. She's buried near Bethlehem. And her shrine is there, and the Jews and Arabs fight over this one too. It's there, and there's a big tomb there in that shrine. It's a holy place. And Joseph, that's the story that Stephen is confused. It's Joseph that's buried in the tomb up in Shechem, because Joseph is the patronym of the northern kingdoms. And it's the shrine is what Jacob brought from Shechem. And he got it all mixed up in the speech. He thinks it's what Abraham bought for his tomb. That tomb is up in Shechem, and the Arabs and the Jews fought over that recently. I don't know if you saw the pictures about a year or 2 ago. They killed several of the Jews that were praying there, and then the Arab crowd swarmed over the place and started destroying it. I don't know if you saw they were on top of the roof with pickaxes, and it's a big affront in Israel today that the government didn't do anything to stop that. Let the crowd swarm over to try to destroy it. I don't know how far they got. I've been there recently, but I've seen all these places in more peaceful times. But they're there. So this is a real place. So now Ishmael's descendants. I don't know, did we have Ishmael's descendants before? I don't know. He married She sent to Egypt supposedly, but I don't know the name of his wife, not mentioned here in this presentation. In that other story where it said Ishmael is going to be the father of many nations, in the first Ishmael story, did they name his descendants? No. Okay, so here's where his descendants are named. And we're just tidying up the genealogies here. Let's see. So he lives 137 years, and he set himself to defy his brothers, line 18. Now that we did have earlier, didn't we? Didn't we have that in one of the previous stories? He set himself to defy his brothers. I think it's 16:11. I have it marked.
16:12.
16:12. Okay.
16:12.
You see, there. Again, probably different lines. Okay. Now this is the story of Isaac, son of Abraham. Sounds like a priestly introduction there. When Isaac was 40 years old, he married Rebekah. Yeah, that sounds that way. We've already heard about the marriage, and now we're getting it recapitulated in a priestly marriage. And he married her from Bethuel, the Aramean of Paddan Aram. Now we go back here, and it's Aram Naharaim in the Yahwist. So the Elohist is Paddan Aram. And in the Yahwist, it's Aram Naharaim. 24:12 was Aram Naharaim. So these are different names for these areas. So we mark that. What's the, let's see, that was 24:10. 10. And this is 25:20. 25:20. Paddan Aram. It's important to know that because when we get to the Joseph story, we'll find that the Joseph story is stitched together in a very interesting way, and you can see the stitches on the basis sometimes of these names like Aram Naharaim and Paddan Aram. And you see, Laban is called the Aramean, or Syrian, some people think that means. But Isaac prayed to Yahweh on behalf of his wife, and again,